Hello, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324.
And I'm Cool Cat Terry.
And returning back after months and months, Eternal Shaddai.
Eternal Shaddai, yes. Finally, the Shadster is back.
Yeah.
Guys, it was a good week. I think. While the chat is coming in now that we've gone live, let's review what we've been playing this week. Terry, what have you been playing this week? Been playing some Starfield, I know, right? Shattered Space, right?
No, absolutely not. So I've actually been focused on. There's one game, but I'm not going to talk about that because the game that I've been playing a lot of is actually going to be my spotlight. So I'll hold it. But the other game that I've been playing quite heavily was Space Marine 2, when I did a full playthrough of the campaign.
Really?
And yeah, so it's good. I feel for me, I felt the first one was better. At least I remember having a lot more fun playing the first one, but the second one was still really good. It was still really good. And I did the full campaign as a 3-player co-op experience. So
That's cool.
So I had my friend and my husband, and we all played through the whole campaign together. So it was pretty good. But so we're gonna try the operations next, so we can start unlocking more stuff. But overall, I thought it was a good game.
That's good, man. I'm glad to hear Space Marine is good. Shaddai, what about you, sir? What have you been playing?
Well, I have been playing 3 different games.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be playing El Shaddai on my Nintendo Switch when I'm at work. Even though
Did that get released on Nintendo Switch?
And I
We're
have
talking about the 360 game El Shaddai, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And it's a remastered. I am playing that on my Switch. Great game. That's where actually my name came from that game.
Yes.
The other one is The Search 1. I'm playing that, which is a Souls game, but it's more mech.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other one? Oh, and One Piece Odyssey. So
That's a good game. I like that game.
Stop it, Terry. Don't talk about RPGs because I saw what you said last weekend. Blasphemous. All this, TGS. I heard that. So I kept it to myself. So I'm like, don't talk about JRPGs.
Look, the One Piece does it right, though.
You mean Namco Bandai does it right?
No, only One Piece, because they make other games, and I don't support any other ones. So no.
No, because One Piece is like any other Tales game.
It's nothing like the Tales games, because I play the Tales games. I feel like when One Piece does the RPG, they really dumbed it down and they simplified.
I don't know. It feels like the same, like for any Tales. The only thing is their powers are kind of different because
the Tales games get a lot more challenging.
Mm.
You're not gonna die playing, One Piece. You know what I mean?
That is actually true.
Okay, so that's, like I said, it's very different.
But it does have the essence of Tales, though. It does have
very simplified. Very simplified. Like you play One Piece's RPG just to enjoy the gameplay and immerse yourself in the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Tales, you're playing that for the adventure, and as well as the battles are going to be different and challenging as you go. One Piece is pretty much the same all the way from start to finish. There's nothing new to really expect.
Well, like Terry said, that's more like a training game. Since everything is simplified.
It is. So it's a fun game for fans. It's a fun game for fans, and a fun game if you have kids who are getting into RPGs. It's a good one for them to kind of learn how to play.
One piece of game. And Axel, what about you? What you been playing?
Yeah, so I have been playing. So I bought the Final Fantasy Pixel Collection as soon as it came out, day one, and I finished the first Final Fantasy, and man, it brought me back to the NES days. Of course, the Pixel Collection is better, lots of quality of life improvements. My favorite part is that you could set your gil, post-battle gil, to be rewarded up to 4 times. So you didn't have to grind forever. And then you could also set your experience up to 4 times. So again, you didn't have to grind forever.
Yeah, I play a little bit of that. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
with.
So, but I would only set it up to 4 times. Like I need something from the shop, and I don't feel like grinding for 3 hours, so 4 times modifier, and I would just run outside the town, get into a couple of fights, go back in, buy it.
I'm old school. I think I'm gonna grind the hell out of it. I suffer, so I'm still have it with me, but I'm with you.
I did all the grinding back on the old NES days, and it's so funny because in the Pixel Collection, on the first Final Fantasy at least, I noticed that everything is half price already compared to the
Individually or the
NES
whole thing?
version.
Oh, really?
Yep. So that was kind of interesting, and I still had to grind, and I'm like, God. But I remember in the old NES version, like I would get lost for hours, just grinding out people, like and dying so many times, and like after like a 3 hour grind, just like not having enough potions, not having enough anything, and just dying. And I'm just like so. Yeah, the Pixel Collection, of course, the maps are loaded, unlike the NES where you had to explore and actually figure it out. Everything is there, so it is super cool, super great. Loved it. Love that it came to Xbox. I mean, I was just playing the music. I was listening to the soundtrack. It was just so good, so good, so good. And of course, it brought me back. It brought me back. So up next is Final Fantasy 2 someday. But I got to get back to oldie but goodie. And I started up Starfield. I'm like, all right, it's time to play some Shattered Space. But I forgot that I went through the. I forgot I reset the game, and I haven't unlocked Andreja yet. So I have to play through the through the campaign to unlock Andreja, and then I'll go through and do this DLC. So I am. That's what I was doing last night. I was playing some Starfield, and it's so funny because I keep doing what I always do, and it's like I'm gonna go do this mission, and it's like, ooh, look at this, ooh, look at that, Like seriously, Bethesda deserves a lot of credit for all the detail they put into the 3D models they use in that game. It's impressive. So that's what I was playing, and I found a derelict space station, and I'm like, should I do something about it, or do I keep ignore it and just grind to this campaign? I'm gonna go check it out. And the whole space station was like in zero gravity, and lots of fights like that. It was a lot of fun. But I heard that the Shattered Space starts off in zero gravity as well. So we'll see. So yeah, so those are the games I've been grinding this week. And chat, let us know what you've been playing. We love to hear what you guys have been doing. Shout out to my buddy Doggy Dog. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Your Wicked Hot is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. He says, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Doggy Dog says he started the first Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered. He's already addicted again. Yeah, right, Doggy.
Fraud.
And he says, I like how they made the first one look more 16-bit. Yeah, they did. I like the backgrounds instead of just black. So yes, absolutely. So let's talk about some announcements here. You know what? We're already talking about Final Fantasy, so I'm just going to change the order a little bit and talk about Final Fantasy first. So, I don't know if you guys heard, but people keep saying that Xbox gamers don't buy games. Don't release it on there. It'll flop. Xbox gamers don't buy games. But Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered titles climb high on the Xbox stores, proving Xbox players actually do love JRPGs. Yeah, so weird, right? So weird. So love for the classic 2D Final Fantasy still holds up today as it skyrockets across the Xbox store charts across the world. The world. Okay. So this is just, people have been posting on Twitter. So after a week of being announced and released during the 2024 Tokyo Game Show, Square Enix's long-awaited Xbox port of Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collection has been seen jumping high on the top paid charts on Xbox stores worldwide. Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collection is a compilation, blah, blah, blah. Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collection is available, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here we go. So as of October 5th, which was yesterday, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection has shot up to first place in the top paid list on the Xbox Store in Japan. So number 1 in Japan. And then it is the 12th paid in the US. Number 1 in Japan, number 12 in the US. Holds the 20th spot in the UK. And it has hit the 13th spot in Germany. And everywhere you look, everybody's just buying the Final Fantasy collection. So seeing as we do buy some JRPGs, don't you think we deserve some Final Fantasy 16 love? Some Final Fantasy 7 love? Come on, Square, get on it. We'll buy it. I'm telling you, we will buy it. Terry, Xbox gamers don't buy JRPGs. What do you think?
I agree. No, I'm kidding. I mean, one of the things that helps with them getting it is when I think of the player base, I feel like majority. I can't. This is just personal perception. This isn't factual statistics, but I personally feel that the majority of the Xbox community tend to be older gamers. You know, gamers over the age of 30. And so they're going to have nostalgia for these classic games. And so they're going to continue to purchase these classic games, which is also a big factor of why Xbox has pushed, you know, the backwards compatibility and all that kind of stuff, because we have, I feel, the older player base. Whereas when I think of, let's say, the competitors, they tend to, I mean, they have older gamers, but at the same time, I tend to think about them having the younger players. You know, when you go talk to a kid who's playing, they're going to be playing on the other platforms more than Xbox. I mean, there are kids with Xbox, but you know what I mean when you just look at the majorities, at least the perception of it.
I don't know,
So,
man, like here, there's a lot of Xbox kids, but okay.
So So I feel that kind of helps with selling some games like this, because I feel like this probably, I mean, it might, but I feel like this wouldn't sell as well on Nintendo, you know, because they're going to be playing the newer RPGs that Nintendo has to offer. They're not going to be looking for these pixel ones necessarily, at least not the real young kids. So I don't know, but I think it's good that they, you know, released it and it's selling well. But then again, this might not be a JRPG phenomenon. It could just be a Final Fantasy phenomenon, because Final Fantasy is like one of like the top JRPG franchises out there. So you literally could put other JRPGs on the system and they could tank. You know, it's the fact that it's Final Fantasy. You know, that they're the Star Wars of JRPGs. So no matter what they do, they're gonna sell. So it could just be because it's Final Fantasy.
I know, man. Final Fantasy. I mean, Final Fantasy is the JRPG, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's the original RPG that blew up in the West. You know, others did, but yeah, I agree with you. Final Fantasy is up there. Doggy Dog says, yeah, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster is number 9 this morning. Jeez.
It's going up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming up. Shout out to Crazy Greek Dude. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, when will Good Morning Xbox release in physical form? I like to own the contact action too. Funny. Yeah. But you know, it's digital, and as long as YouTube is free, it's free. Fastback says, good morning. Thank you so much for being here, Fastback. You are the real MVP. And hey, I like your new logo, man. I like the new animation. Looking good, looking sharp. Should Xbox gamers don't buy JRPGs? Don't release that on there. What do you think?
I don't know where you got that from, because that's like in 9 right now.
The internet never lies.
Yeah, that is true. The internet never lies. What do I think? I'm with Cool Cat Terry, and I'm one of those, because I have played Final Fantasy 1 through 3, but never played 4, 5, and 6. And when I saw this coming to the Xbox, I bought it ASAP. And you know, at least right now, I get the chance to play my last 3. I don't mind playing it again. It's one of my favorite ones, and also because now, if we see Final Fantasies, Well, first, I'd rather say for Square Enix, they're not selling pretty well Final Fantasy 16 and whatever they're releasing. But right now, after announcing this on the Xbox, we could see that we want more, or we prefer the older ones way better than the new ones because those were, the jewels. Nowadays, because of all the requirements or whatever they are doing, is like it's not the same team. It's a totally different Final Fantasy right now. But I'm with Terry. A lot of people are coming back, go back to the nostalgia. Also, it's because they want to support. Remember, we want to support JRPGs on the Xbox because they barely have any, and now we're getting a lot of wave of JRPGs. So it's letting them know that just because Xbox is not well known in the over there at Japan, we still want those JRPGs. We love those, and that's the way I see it. I'm very happy that they are number 9. I hope that continues. Yeah, I could hear you too. He was like on a mute. Axel, I think you're muting.
Sorry, number 9. Yes.
Yes, but yes, that's what I believe. I love it. I did play a little bit of part 1. It is very different for some reason. I saw the water on the world map. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, the water. But I just hope that it was. I just wish it was like Octopath Traveler. It would have been nicer like that. 2D, 3D. It would have been
You
nicer.
shut
Like
your mouth. I never want anything to be that styled.
no, I
No.
love it. For some reason, I love it. It doesn't change anything, but it's I like it. But yes, I'm very happy that it's selling well. Xbox do play JRPGs.
Xbox gamers do love JRPGs. We got one
That's
right here named Shaddai.
and that's why I mentioned One Piece Odyssey because I love JRPGs.
Yes. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Fastback saying playing Age of Mythology all weekend. Yeah, I played last night. I'm trying to get better because man, you lift the difficulty on the AIs and it is a huge bump. Like you think you're good and you get bored with the mode you're on, and then you go up to one difficulty and holy crap!
Is that a JRPG?
No. Uh-oh. Hey, is the stream still going on, guys? My stream feed just kind of crashed.
Really?
We're going to pretend it's still on. Shout out to Roberto Z. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, good morning, gamers. Andy, thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, good morning, Axel and panel. Good morning. Thank you so much. Let's see. Fastback says, I like older Final Fantasy, but would like to see a Zelda RPG on Xbox. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Zelda RPG on Xbox, but wow, that's a
big ask.
that's huge.
Yeah, Nintendo not going to play that nice.
Yeah. But they have Tunic similar to it.
Yeah. No, I don't know if that's gonna happen. So yeah, for me, I've never this has been something said since 2013 that Xbox gamers don't buy JRPGs. A lot of Japanese developers are over there talking smack, saying, "Oh, we don't develop for Xbox because they don't have enough users here in Japan." But yet you're making a game that releases worldwide. So what are you talking about Japan for? I mean, Japan's not even the biggest gaming market in the world anymore. So, but Japan is an important gaming market. I'm just saying they're just not the biggest, right? And so I think JRPGs are really essential to the gaming library, if you will. I think a console does need JRPGs to the best, if you will, for me out of them, and I'm just going to play them until I get to the best. So yeah. And by the way, it's not like I love Final Fantasy, the OG Final Fantasy that much. I mean, I bought it on my NES, I bought it on my PlayStation, I bought it on my PSP, I bought it on my iOS device, and I bought it on my Switch, and now I bought it on my Xbox. So yeah, yeah.
You're double dipping. Gotcha.
Yeah, six times have I bought this game, and I love every single one. And it's so fun because like sorry, and I also have the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, the ones with the new dungeons. So yeah,
So,
it's fun.
so how they keep? How can Square say they are not meeting expectation when you are helping them getting their money buying it 6 times?
You know, I really feel like Square has realized that they're leaving so much money on the table by
Mm,
doing their exclusivity deals, especially on their biggest franchise. I really hope they realize that they're leaving money on the table because I know that Final Fantasy 15 sold really well on Xbox One,
mhm.
and the fact that 16 skipped is really sad. And of course, the fact that 7 skipped, that's also really sad. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this the Square Enix CEO opens up to us and continues to bring games over. But until I see it happen, I don't hold my holds up. Like, just being honest, they can talk all the talk they want, but they got to walk the walk. And when they walk the walk, they'll get my money. Until then, I'm going to talk my smack. So, yeah. Shout out to Jason Max. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, just remember, Xbox is number one. That's right. Xbox is number one, and Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection is number 9. So, yes.
Then after that, pretty soon, remember, Final Fantasy is number 1.
Yes. Yeah, but man, I love this. But sticking on topic, someone on Twitter, just being haters. Haters are gonna hate, right? Posted a little tweet. I'm not gonna show this, but I don't know if you know this, should I? But there's a game called Metaphor Refantasio coming to Xbox. It is from Atlas, who has released, I think, 6 games on Xbox. This will be the 6th game this year on Xbox. But they did they're most famous for the Shin Megami Tensei and, of course, the Persona series. And so I am very, very hyped for this game. I am gonna buy this game right away because, oh man, just try to stop me. Just try. They also released the incredible game that I'm playing right now, Unicorn Overlord, on Xbox earlier this year, and that was 0 advertising, and that game is amazing. Everybody who I know who has played it has loved it. So Atlas, shout out to Atlas, they're one of the greats, is releasing Metaphor Refantasio on Xbox. They have partnered with Xbox to do the marketing, right? This is not an Xbox exclusive. I'm just saying they partnered with Xbox. But some people are salty about it. Let's check it out. So somebody posted on Twitter, Atlas is terrible at marketing. They should have never let Xbox have the rights to advertising. JRPGs do not sell well over there. Funny statement there. I still got people telling me they thought Metaphor was an Xbox exclusive. It's almost like the advertising worked. Get this game when it comes out, man. It's fire. I don't know, man. I don't know if you know what good games are or how the game industry works. So, Metaphor advertising with Xbox, and people think that it's Xbox exclusive because, they have the marketing rights. And because people think that it's an Xbox exclusive and they have the marketing rights, Atlas is dumb for doing so. Because, JRPGs don't sell well on Xbox. That stupid argument. So, should I take it away, sir? What do you think about that statement? Do you think that person has just hating on Xbox because a game didn't get advertised on his favorite piece of plastic?
Okay. I know who wrote it. Don't care about that person. But I'm like Terry. I'm not going to play this. No, it's not. That was from last weekend. She doesn't like, yeah, she was talking smack about this game. This game caught my attention. And this one will actually probably help me out to enter the Persona series because I never played Persona. But
Shame Shame
No,
on this fraud right
I
here.
I,
This
I
JRPG
understand.
fraud.
Yeah, I understand that. My friend even showed it to me, but it took a while for me to actually loving it. But this is for me the entrance to Persona. Probably gonna go, give it a try. But why is this happening? Like you said, Axel, the marketing deal, the way that they're marketing, a lot of
Yes.
people are being a bit confused because it's heavily marketed by Xbox.
Yeah, this has
Why?
been
Why is
marketed now for like 2 years on
yeah?
Xbox.
But why is that? Supposedly, when you are marketing that heavily, a lot of people is gonna think it's an Xbox exclusive, which is not.
And I'm okay with them thinking that, by the way.
No,
Get more
and I
consoles.
no, and no, I don't. I don't mind it too. But when you are, let's put it this way, like people like to say, it's in third place, and
Mhm.
you're not supposedly that person said not visible on Japan. You will do whatever you can to be as visible as you can, especially for a game like this big, creators of Persona.
Mhm.
So I don't mind it. I'd rather them do that, but at the same time, I'd rather have it more in general. Not only JRPGs, but Microsoft should do it for all of their games too, especially their first party games. Not only this one,
Yeah.
but also, and so they have to be Atlas. I think they have to be a little bit clear. Like this is gonna go all platform just because it's heavily on the Xbox doesn't mean anything. But at the same time, Xbox, if it's not exclusive, well, they're not saying anything anyways. But I guess Famitsu, I think they already
Yes, they
played
already
it.
reviewed this.
Yeah, they
It was
already
2 points
reviewed
away
it.
from perfect.
Right. So it's for them, supposedly there are 4 steps. And it's a 37 out of 40.
Yes.
And for us over here, the metric is a 9 out of 10. So that means this game is gonna it's a gem for Xbox. It's a big
Yes.
gem. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's coming out this month too. So I have to go get it as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And also they are afraid that
The fear. Yeah. Talk to us about it.
is because they don't know what's going to be the future of Atlas if they're going to keep doing this on the Xbox, knowing that it is not selling as much as the PlayStation. Are they going to keep doing this? Me, I don't care. I don't care. If the competitive team is doing the same thing, stop complaining that Xbox is doing it. Stop. Because they need it. Let's put it this way. You have to say it like that. Xbox needed more than PlayStation does. We need more JRPGs. So kudos to Xbox for doing this. Kudos for them. So I am looking forward for Metaphor the Refantagio. Oh, it is October 11. 5 more days. So I better reserve it as quickly as possible. Looking forward to it. Love Atlas games. So looking forward to it. Especially Odin Sphere. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Speaking of the review, I found it. Shout out to personacentral.com.
Yep.
Right. So the story is 80 hours long. Should I talk about getting your money's worth?
Hey, for me, that an 80-hour is like a 50 for me.
Shoot, an 80 hours like 164 to me.
No,
I already know it.
No, I played Tales and I thought I was at 50 and I was already hitting 90. I thought I was a 50, but I was already hitting 90. So for me, that's like the new 50.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
So Famitsu still does the group rating. So they have 4 people review the game.
Yeah.
They give it scores. They add it up out of 40, right? So they gave it 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, for a total of 37 out of 40, right? Which is great. So yeah, thank you for reminding me about the Metaphor Refantagio.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna get review bound because it's on Xbox.
Oh, you know it is, man. You know people are gonna play this game, and people that gave Persona 10 out of 10s and 9 out of 10s are gonna give this game like a 6. Because the Xbox tax
Yep.
And speaking of the Xbox tax, here it is right here. People tell me it's not real, but everything Xbox does is wrong. It's wrong.
Well, you know what? Itself. Sorry, let me include this.
Go ahead.
Let's include Final Fantasy collection. We just talked about it not too long ago. It's number 9, so this is the second one behind it.
Yep.
Okay, Terry, go.
Terry, we just proved that Xbox gamers do buy games, right?
Okay.
It's Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster hit number 9, and here's some Xbox tax going on by someone. Let me reread it. Atlas is terrible at marketing. They should have never let Xbox have the rights to advertising. JRPGs do not sell well over there. Bunch of lies. I still got people telling me they thought Metaphor was Xbox exclusive. Get this game when it comes out, man. It's fire. Now, I want you to know this trailer right here isn't from the Xbox YouTube channel. This is from the Atlas YouTube channel. And, look what they listed as. So, yeah. The Xbox has the marketing rights. Terry, what do you think about said statement? Because, the internet never lies to us.
I mean, the marketing isn't terrible if everybody knows about it.
And especially if you are a Metaphor fan, you were going to get this game.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it was.
Yeah. So, I mean, literally, even if you didn't own the platform that it's on, you still know about it. So
you would have researched it. Trust me. If you really want to play a game, you research it, right?
Yeah, you're gonna hear about it if you're a fan of the work that they've past works and stuff. You're gonna be within that circle anyway, even if it's not coming to your preferred platform. You're probably you probably follow Atlas on social media and everything else. So it's not like you're not gonna know about it. So, but it's interesting that they didn't have that narrative because State of Play was literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And people may have the perception that everything that was shown at State of Play would be an exclusive game. But then how did Xbox respond? They immediately posted all the games that were shown at State of Play that are available on their system. It's like, it's like just advertise, and let people know on your platform that they can also play it there. It's no big deal.
Marketing for doing that. I really appreciate it.
It's no big deal. So why is that something that they can't understand, that, one system can showcase it? Doesn't mean the other system can't still have it too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just dumb. And who cares who has the marketing rights? If you can still gain access to the game on another platform, then why are you mad? Why are you mad?
You can still play it. Why are you crying, bro? Why are you crying?
No,
I mean, literally the trailer wouldn't be any different, because that's the thing that's weird, is when people are like, oh, marketing rights. Literally the only thing that's different on the trailer is what brand is on the bottom in smaller print. They will use the exact same trailer regardless. So it's not like you're missing out on anything. It's just dumb.
And not only that, that person's statement contradicts. Don't put it there. It doesn't sell. But it's fire. What? Don't get it because it's under competitive, but it's fire.
Atlas is dumb, but the game is great.
But it's not.
It's kind of them being passive aggressive about how they want to support the game, but they don't want to support Xbox. So they're trying to play both sides. It's just.
It's that Xbox tax in full effect.
You just sound like a fool.
That's true. That's true.
You can't play both sides. All right. If you want to support the game, great. If you want to support the devs, great. Support the devs by supporting, all the platforms they're releasing their content on. You're not supporting the dev if you're telling people not to buy their game on a certain platform. That hurts the dev. So make it make sense.
I know, right?
I can't. Unfortunately, I can't make it make sense, Terry. Because, and the person got into it, back and forth, and he's all like, oh, I would say the same thing if, a first-person shooter, if a shooter was advertised on PlayStation and not on Xbox. I'm like, so I looked through some tweets. I didn't find this person say any smack about the last 10 years of Call of Duty. Throwing that out there. What's good for you. And that's the whole point of it being an Xbox tax.
He's not high. He's not high and mighty. Put it that way, and just leave it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to point out though that it seems the one thing I noticed right off the bat from just listening to you guys talk is so an Eastern game gets praised for having more than 50 hours, but Western games get like shat on for having more than 50 hours. Like why?
Yeah, that's so weird. I don't know. I love the fact that my games last me more than $1 per hour. I'm just saying. I hate to say it, but that's kind of how I see the value in games. Like, if you're going to charge me $70 for a game, I better get 70 hours out of it.
Yeah, I love that I can play my game for long periods of time, and it's always something new. You know, it's not you just doing the same thing on repeat like Call of Duty. Yeah, congratulations. You could put thousands of hours in Call of Duty, but you're doing the exact same thing. You're on the exact same map, you know, and you're just spraying, praying on repeat. You're not doing anything different.
How dare you?
You
how
know,
dare you? I did not shoot that person last game.
I found them today. I'll get them today.
You know, most players, they have a route that they run, and they just run that route.
Yes.
Like
I said, my favorite thing in Call of Duty is just to knife people. I don't know why I enjoy it. I just do.
But I don't know.
Yeah, back to metaphor.
That's just something that stood out to me because I've had to listen to people gripe and moan so much about how certain games are too long. They're too long. I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand that not all gamers have time to invest in certain games. I mean, that's why I don't play MMOs because I don't have the time to invest in that. But I'm not going to sit there and bash how MMOs are too long. Like, it just means it's a game that I'm not going to, you know, pay attention to. And I move on and I focus on games that I want to focus on. I don't understand why people have to act like, well, it's not for me, so I have to cry about it. Like, who cares if it's not for you? Not everything's going to be for you. You know, there's games... You know, there's games that are, you know, too long, like MMOs, that I don't want to play. There's games that might be just too stressful. You know, like your Souls type games. They're just too stressful, and I don't want my blood pressure rising. You know, and so I choose not to play them. You know,
controllers needs to be survived. You know, they need to survive.
I don't sit there and complain to the devs about how they need to add an easy mode or do this or do that and dictate what they should do with their creation. Like, no, let the creator create is what I like to say. Let the creator create. I stand behind that, and you know, and if it's not for me, it's not for me. I'm not going to sit here and whine about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's on a platform I don't have and I really want to play it, then I have to decide, do I want to invest in that platform or not? And it's a choice I have to make. It makes no sense for me to sit there and bash somebody else because it's not on a platform that I particularly like.
Or advertised on the platform.
Yeah. I don't even care what platform something is advertised on. I just look at, do I get it or not?
Yeah.
If I do, great. And if I don't, then I have to make a decision. Do I want it bad enough to invest or not? And most times I don't. I don't invest because I'm like, I can live without it because, you know
it's so funny you say that because like each one of these systems here that I have that I buy when they come out, right? Instead of getting them a generation back. If you don't have what I want, I buy your system a generation back when it's, you know, cheap. But if you have what I like, I will invest. But there has to be a minimum of 4 games. I've always said to myself, 4 games that I will buy on your system for me to buy your system if it's current gen. I have like 50 Nintendo Switch games, you know, I have like 100 Xbox games, and I have like 4 or 5 games on my PlayStation.
And
so
I'm
it met the threshold. It met the threshold. You know, everybody has a threshold, right?
Yeah, like I mean, there are gamers out there who will buy a platform for one game. There are some out there.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm not one of them. I can't justify dropping $800 for one game.
Yeah.
You know, because by the time you buy the console, buy your controller, buy whatever you need to charge everything, because everything has a different system for charging stuff, so you don't have to run on batteries, you know, and then you get your game, and, you know, if it's not already included, you know, that's a huge investment, you know, you're like, that's a rent payment for most people, you know?
Yes.
So like I'm not going to, you know, and for what, for a game that if it's a story related game, you know, outside of this one, let's say it's a game that maybe only has an average story time of like maybe 10 to 12 hours plus all the side quests they do to make it longer. Mm-hmm. $800 for 10 hours? No, thank you. You know what I mean?
It's not meeting the $1 per hour threshold. Let's check in with the chat real quick before I get into it. Shout out to Web Dave. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real
Web
MVP.
Dave.
Says good morning. Guys, Dreadpool will be on Web Dave's show tonight.
Really?
So be sure to check that out.
Woo.
Yeah, Dreadpool will be there tonight. So he's not here this morning because he is taking a nap. Because, you know, he's up all night scaring people.
I'm not surprised.
And so he'll be on Web Dave's show tonight. So be sure to check it out tonight, guys. And shout out to you, Web Dave. Thank you so much for being here.
Web Dave.
And guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Every like you hit helps us get discovered in the live section of YouTube where we compete. We really appreciate those. Shout out to Legendary Yobi. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, peace, love, life. Let's go, beautiful people. Let's do it. Roberto Z is like me. Picking up Metaphor on Xbox. Absolutely. Get it, bro. Oh, my gosh. Fastback says, Xbox haters are like cowboy haters. Oh, my gosh. Oh,
okay.
I don't know if they're the same breed, but yeah, I guess so, I guess. Roberto Z, Metaphor is going to take me forever with my playing style. Yeah, same, bro. Same, bro.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I like to take my time.
Legendary Yobi says it's not a big deal at all. The community is acting like man-childs. Yep, I absolutely agree with that statement as well. Shout out to Jesse James. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Says Xbox is so brat. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude says it's half a rent payment for some. Yeah, maybe some people. Yeah, always pay your bills first, guys. This is a hobby, not your life.
Yeah.
Pay your bills first.
There are places that are super overly expensive for rent, most definitely. But again, when you look at the majority of the country, they're the minority. That's why I say move. I moved. I lived in California. I was paying $4,000 a month for rent, and that was for a 1-bedroom. So what did I do? I got smart and I moved.
Save you more your money. Shout out to Happy Cloud Gamer. Thank you so much for being here. He says, hello, everyone. I'm on a hike, so be back soon. Thank you so much. You are the real MVP. Happy Cloud Gamer. Xbox Gamer is here. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, I wish I could open a web browser and stream Sony's first-party game devs day one like they can do it for Xbox games. I don't know. Can you stream on PlayStation? I don't know. I know you can on Xbox. I know that streaming is built in, which is awesome.
Streaming's built in on PlayStation. At
Is
least it was, but
I don't know.
I can't vouch.
I don't try to stream from my console, so
I can't vouch for how they do it for PlayStation 5 because I've never done it. But for PS4, it was awful. So, an experience I don't recommend using. Don't do it. You're better off just going through getting all the devices to route it through onto your PC.
Yeah.
Get your Elgato or whatever and do it that way.
Mm-hmm. Fastback says, I enjoyed games on the PS4, but I have no desire to get a PS5 yet. I will get a Switch 2 before a PS5. Yeah, I will get a Switch 2 probably as well. Let's see. Roberto C. said, I can't justify to spend $700 to buy remaster after remasters. That's a bait and switch. I need to read these before I
Dude, I gotta give him points for being clever.
Yeah. So there you go. So back to Metaphor and the statement. So if you are an Atlas JRPG fan, you'll see that Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, one of the greatest, is on there. Persona 3, one of the greatest. Persona 4, one of the greatest. Persona 5, the GOAT itself, Mm-hmm. So if you liked any of these and you are a true fan, you'll know that Atlas is on these. And they're releasing a new IP. What? Count me in. So, Nier Automata, what? Atlas did that too? Yes, Nier Automata.
No, Nier is Squares.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Nier is Square. My bad.
Odin's
but they got
Sphere
Kota
is
Kazuma
Atlas.
from Nier. So if you like Nier, you got to bring it over.
Yeah.
Neon Genesis Evangelion, I don't know who does that one. Etrian Odyssey series, don't know who does that one. But they got all these great people with great resumes working on this great game. So you know this game is going to be fire. So when you say a statement like this, as Terry said, it makes you look foolish.
Dun, 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 dun.
They should never let Xbox have the rights to advertising. JRPGs do not sell well over there. Dude, if They already got everybody that they're gonna get on that team. Now they're going after new customers. You know, you got to grow, right? You can't grow if you're doing the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I already got all these people here loving my games, all these games on their PlayStation, I need to get people on Team Green to love my games. And you know what's the best part of being on Team Green here, Terry? And should I? You want to know what the best part is? Is that Xbox has a almost like a mandate. I won't say a mandate, but a highly encouraged piece where if you release on Xbox, you got to release on Windows. So going over to the Xbox, not only did they get Team Green on the console, but they also get the PC Master Race. That's right. That's right, baby. Because everybody has now associated Xbox with PC. Correct me if I'm wrong here, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to get an Xbox. I'll just get a PC. Well, you know who wants some of that PC money? Everybody. Okay. So if I advertise with Xbox, I get the console guys like Shaddai, like Axel. And then I get the PC guys like Axel, right? And all the other ones. So it's a 2-for-1er. I should advertise with Xbox and grow my brand because I already have, because I released all these bangers and make no mistake, all of these are bangers on PlayStation with advertising with the PlayStation. I got to grow, you know, I'm in business to grow. And so I got to grow by advertising on Xbox and I get a 2-for-1. You get it on the Xbox and you get it on PC. So I think this is only great for Atlas. They're going to get more exposure and they're going to get better. So this whole statement of like, gee, JRPGs do not sell well over there. But you know what? Mine can.
Like I said, how can you say they should never let Xbox have the rights for advertisement? Does not sell well, but get this game when it comes out, man, it is fire. It's either one or the other. You can't serve two things. It's either bad or is it good?
And the other part about this is, right? So let me go back here. I just like this because it's a list, right? Persona 3 didn't launch on Xbox, right? Persona 4 didn't launch on Xbox. Now, Persona 4, the fighting version, the fighting game, and Persona 3, the fighting game, did.
The Royal?
No. It's called what is it called? It's a fighting game. Anyways, it's an offshoot, right? It uses the Persona characters as fighting, right? You know, Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 didn't launch on Xbox for years, almost a decade, right? And then when they launched, you want to know who bought them, should I? You want to know? This guy. I bought all 3 of these.
I haven't.
Even though they're available on Game Pass. And guess who subscribed to Game Pass? This guy. And you know what? He still bought them because I know they're bangers. Nier Automata came out on PlayStation. It was ported over to Xbox, came on Game Pass. But you know who bought it because it was coming off Game Pass? This guy. So yeah, I became a Atlas RPG fan right there. And yeah, Metaphor, I was really hoping it would launch on Xbox and not only that, but it is advertised on Xbox. And the more I see about this game, the more hyped I get about it. So I'm very happy that it's coming over. And this guy can, I don't know, go cry in a corner or something. I don't know. I'm sure he won't because he is way successful. But yeah, this statement, I think, is just a foolish statement. And people were calling you out that you're a fool. And I can see that when people make good points, you don't reply to them. But when people make mistakes or grammar mistakes or change the topic, you reply to them.
See, but that's
when people make good points, you don't. I just noticed it. Just saying.
Okay. No, but you know, in this part, I understand where you said I still got people telling me they thought Metaphor was an exclusive.
That means advertising worked.
You know, it's common sense that just because the advertisement was, you know, high volume on the Xbox or whatever, but if it's on the PlayStation, that will actually debunk the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people think a lot of games are exclusive because of marketing rights, because that's the way the game industry has flown. You know, consoles and console exclusives, platform exclusives. But again, you come over to Team Xbox, you know what? You get two consoles for the price of one, two platforms for the price of one. You get the Xbox and the PC platform.
Mm-hmm.
Bada bing, bada boom, Shaddai. That's a W. Get you some of those 3 billion gamers. Right?
Pretty much, yes.
So yeah, let's check in with the chat. That's what I think about that. So yeah. Calm down. Breathe. Okay. So Crazy Greek Dude says Nier is greater than Tales. Oh man, I love the Tales franchise. I'm not gonna lie.
Very good.
But I do love Nier, and I am a huge 2B fan. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's cleanse the palate a little. Let's calm down, guys. Let's get on to the news. So those are the announcements. Those are just announcements, guys, by the way. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, so this got told to me through Twitter, and I followed the trail, and I found the exact place where it's coming from. So, Xbox Research is shaping the future of game development. By directly engaging with game creators, Xbox aims to get the data that will help enhance the experience of development partners. So, this is official from Xbox. I thought at first that this was just people being people, talking smack, but nope, I found the source. So, Xbox Research wants to know why developers aren't using Xbox. So here we go. Let's get to it. So Xbox Research, a division traditionally focused on player experiences, has recently expanded its scope to include the community of Xbox game developers. Okay. Nothing bad right now, right? The objective is to listen to the developer partners in the Xbox ecosystem and partner with product teams to bring forward insights and data that could help improve future tools and services. By directly engaging with game creators, Xbox aims to get the data that'll help address pain points and enhance the experience of partners across the spectrum of disciplines involved in bringing games to market. Dr. Deborah Henderson, principal of user research for Xbox, offers insights into this new initiative that could reshape the relationship between the platform holders and game creators. All right, let's pause there for a minute. So I don't know if you guys know, but Xbox had what, in my opinion, is like embarrassing situations where game developers had to pull their games from the Xbox store because the people wouldn't reply to them. It would take them months to hear back, right? So some games pulled, and they weren't big games, of course, right? But they were still games, and who knows who could enjoy those games? Somebody could, right? And so they said like, oh, Xbox ID at Xbox doesn't reply, so forth and so on. I'm sorry, but we're going to launch our game without the Xbox version because the process is just taking way too long, right? So yeah, there's just pain points, and then there's big games such as Wukong, right? That skipped Xbox because it ran into technical issues, quality issues, right? And maybe the team at Xbox is not being very helpful in helping them resolve that. So there has been history just this year of Xbox kind of falling short on supporting the devs. So now they're gonna open. So they're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Maybe we need to launch Xbox Research. Look, man, I can save you millions. Just pay me millions of dollars, Xbox. I will tell you what you need to do. Hire people. Hire and properly train your people. Don't contract them. I didn't say contract them and lose them after 18 months. Hire them, right? Put them direct. And, that way that when those people write, there's somebody there to reply to them. There's someone there to help them. So that's number one. Number two, exclusives matter. Other developers have said that the reason they're not coming to Xbox is because Xbox is not big enough for them to consider in their home country where they're from. right? So when they talk to people in their home country in their home language, none of them are saying that they're Xbox gamers. So number 2, exclusive sell consoles. I hate to say it, no matter what anybody tells me, I am convinced that exclusive sells console. You get the right exclusives, you're going to sell consoles, right? You get the right marketing, you're going to sell consoles. Like, I promise you, whoever I think PlayStation has marketing for Grand Theft Auto 6, trust me, they're going to sell consoles, right? So yeah, I'm just letting you know, you don't need to spend millions of dollars. Xbox, hire me. I will tell you what you seem to be deaf to. Just saying. All right. Evolving mythologies from players to creators. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in before I ask my panel, but let's keep reading because I already read all this. Let's see. The decision to create a program dedicated to game creators comes as a natural progression with Xbox research organization maturity. We've known for a while this is a gap, Henderson explained. We do lots of work on games, on hardware, on the dash, and yet most of the systems for collecting feedback on the back end were less formal. This shift addresses a common oversight in the industry where players' experiences often take precedence over developer tools. Honestly, I think it's very similar to the reason studios often take a while to dedicate these sorts of resources to game tools, Henderson said. The player will always come first. New program will employ a variety of research methodologies, including mirroring those used in player-focused studies, but tailored for developers. We do all sorts. It really depends on the question we're trying to answer. Common methodologies are interviews, usability, playtesting, surveys, and flighting, she said. And the same sort of studies we perform when testing games is just on tools and services. All right, so there you go. They're just going to add more. Build a better ecosystem, goals and strategies. Data collected from these studies will play a crucial role in shaping Microsoft's offerings for game developers. It will help us get more money from players. Sorry, that's not what it says. It will help us figure out both what to build and how to build things well. What features are needed? How do we implement them gracefully? Where are existing tools or services falling down? What can we do to improve them? I just said some, right? The ultimate goal is to address the diverse needs of developers from large studios to independent creators. It's all about giving the game developers what they need to feel empowered and supported by Xbox. Keyword here, again, some of those games announced that they were skipping Xbox until they basically put their story on Twitter and it blew up and Xbox finally responded. And they're like, oh yeah, it's coming, but still not day one. It's sad, right? So yeah. Let's see. An inclusive approach of broadening the scope of feedback. It's just more of the same here. She just repeats a lot of what she said. So there you go. Xbox research is now there for developers. Woo! Terry, is this a smart move or should Xbox save millions of dollars and hire me? And I'll just tell them.
I mean, it's a smart move as long as they're having actual people do it. I feel that a lot of the issues that they're having, and a lot of companies rather are having, is they're relying on AI a lot more, and it's causing a lot of issues with communication.
Yes.
So it's, the AI is hurting employment because people can't, their resumes are getting skipped over by AI.
Yes.
AI is hurting customer service. AI is
Big
hurting.
Time.
AI is also, and then in this case, AI is hurting them with, getting product on their platform because, communication isn't there so that way these devs know what they can do to get their stuff there. They don't know where to turn, and they keep getting nothing but red tape and dead ends. So they need better communication and they need more clear guidelines on what to follow so they know what they all need to do so they can get their game on the platform. So yeah. Xbox needs to have an actual team of people doing this stuff. You stop relying on AI. AI is a great tool, but it's a tool. Don't make it to where it's crippling you because you're not having manpower to, fill in for what AI can't do. So that's all. That's the only thing I can really say is just make sure you have a team of actual people that can get in touch with the devs to help them out, give them what they need, because otherwise it's just going to be more red tape and they're not going to get anywhere. They're going to still get frustrated, and then that's going to be more bad press when more devs reach out on Twitter and saying, well, we wanted to go on Xbox, but we couldn't get a hold of anyone. They weren't responding to our emails, so we're just not going to release on Xbox. Like that's not what you want to
That's a bunch of
hear.
crap. That is so embarrassing.
So get people. I know they've been laying off a lot of people because they don't need them in certain areas. So hire people in the areas that you're lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly this is an area you guys are lacking, so fix it.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything you said, because it needs to be addressed. And again, I think it's a multi-pronged approach, but and how they will resolve the they got to make more impact in the home countries, because some developers have off the record said that the reason they're not supporting Xbox is because they're not big in their home country, right? And so how they're going to solve that, I think, is through exclusives, is how I think they're going to solve it. But that's just me. Shaddai, talk to us, bro.
All right. I am actually agree with you guys about communication issue. You already said it with Enotria, the last song. This is something that it shouldn't be happening right now. That should have been happening since the Xbox One era, before the end of the 360. Why are they acting now? It's like let it happen before we react. Is kind of a like not a good mentality, because look what happened. Like I said not too long ago, Inotra, the last song, they have to wait for that CEO to say something about it on Twitter, and everybody start blasting it.
Yeah.
But I mean, blasting it until they were like, okay, we get it. No. That's not how it goes. You don't wait for the community to get upset about, and then you guys are reacting. Every company does that. It's like they think that their way is right until something wrong happens, and that's when they actually react. It shouldn't be like that. And also, I'd rather say more word of mouth also plays with the communication, because remember, studios, employees on whatever studio they have other friends working on other studios. Which, let's say, what does this have to do with communication? Remember, we have lives. We go hang around with, at the bar or whatever the case may be. There are times that work related conversation comes, and it's like, how is Xbox? And some of them will say, nah, Xbox is horrible because of this and that, and they pull back also. That's another reason. You have influence from other places. The Game Pass also is playing a role. And Larry in Studio said this about what's that game? Baldur's Gate 3. It's all about, the free game or low cost impacts their revenue. That's another thing that why they skip a lot of the things. Because remember, everybody, we subscribe we subscribe to Game Pass, and we always ask, is this going to end Game Pass? Is this going to end Game Pass? And it doesn't end up on Game Pass. It's a full price. So it hurts their revenue. Like I was about to mention, Larry in Studio head Sven Vinke said, we always said that from the get-go, it wasn't going to be on Game Pass. We made a big game, so I think there's a fair price to be paid for that. So in other words, a lot of people, the company spent a lot of money, so they expect that money to gain it back, instead of putting it on Game Pass and get their costs or whatever the case may be, take a big hit. That's another thing. But like you guys said, also the hardware is a problem because Xbox One. Remember, both the the game should be not only on the Series X, also on the Series S. Two different power sources, two different constraints, and sometimes the game requires a lot of resources, and the S doesn't give that. So it's a lot of work for them. They don't want to do a lot of work. So in that part, they want to be a little bit lazy. Like, nope, it got to be one, but Xbox One on both. And also the sales, like you guys said, if it doesn't sell, you're not going to get it. But I think they're a little too late. That's something that should have been done a long time ago. And this shouldn't be happening anyways. That's what I think. This shouldn't be happening anyway. Why you want to react right now? Because you're getting the heat. It shouldn't happen. Honestly, it shouldn't happen like this now. It shouldn't happen that since Xbox One era. But that's what I think. Yeah, you're in the mute section.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, should I? Not only do I agree with everything you said, but I decided to save Xbox millions of dollars. Bada bing, bada boom, ChatGPT. Why developers bypassing the Xbox platform? Marketing trends. Some developers may find that their target audience is more active on other platforms like PC or PlayStation, leading to strategic focus away from Xbox. I said that.
Yeah, the exclusivity.
Game Pass and monetization. Shadai brought this up. While Xbox Game Pass offers vast audience, some developers are concerned about the revenue model, fearing their games might not earn as much due to subscription-based access. Technical limitations. Certain games, particularly those requiring high-end graphics or unique mechanics, may find it easier to develop for PC or next-gen consoles that offer more power or flexibility. Okay, not that Xbox can't do it, just easier to develop. I've always found it so weird that, Xbox splits the type of RAM they use on their systems. It's like, oh, the Xbox comes with 16 gigs of RAM. 6 of them are this type and 10 of them are that type. Whereas other systems is like, yeah, our console comes with 16 gigs of RAM, all the same type. I will never, ever understand why they use different types of RAM. Development cost. The cost of developing for multiple platforms can be high. Some developers may choose to prioritize platforms that offer better financial incentives or lower barriers to entry. Right? Indie focus. Independent developers often target platforms that allow for more creative freedom and easier distribution, which can lead them to platforms like Steam or even mobile over consoles. That has happened. Past experiences. I can guarantee you this is probably the number one right here.
Mm-hmm.
If a developer has had a negative experience on Xbox in the past, such as difficulties with the approval process or sales performance, they might be hesitant to invest time and resources into the platform again. And community and support. Developers often look for communities that align with their game's vision. If they feel that the Xbox community is less engaged with certain types of games, they might choose to focus elsewhere. So there you go, Xbox marketing. You're welcome. I just saved you millions of dollars. I don't know. To me, I feel like Xbox just doesn't have their boots on the ground, because if ChatGPT can see the same thing that everybody else is seeing, but yet you need to do this, that just tells me you're kind of living in La La Land over there on Xbox. Come on, Xbox, get with it. Podcasters have said everything about this. You just have to listen. Just listen.
No, the way I see it is they had it right during the 360 era, and all of a sudden they're like on square one again on this gen. If you guys, if they had success with the Xbox 360 era, how are you gonna end up square one doing this? Xbox research. Come on, you're supposed to be thinking on what happened on the 360, how that became, successful, and replicate that for this gen. That could have saved them a lot of things. That's crazy. It's really, really crazy.
Yeah, super crazy. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see what they say. Fastback says, didn't Xbox learn from the ABK what Sony was doing to prevent devs from putting their games on Xbox? Yeah. Agree, Xbox needs to always find ways to improve relationships with devs and publisher. Roberto C says, it's a smart move if they put their people to use the Force. Force their butt to it. Well, hold on, Roberto. I'm going to start reading these before I start putting them up. Yeah, I agree with this statement as well. When things like this happen, it's like they schedule a meeting about it almost a month to 6 months after the fact. The reaction time is slow.
I know that. I agree with that.
Some people they justify their salary by how many meetings they're in. I'm just saying. Let's see. The fastest I've seen Xbox come out and address something was earlier this year with the rumors about everything going to PlayStation and the community going crazy. Well, I mean, they just said, yeah, it's true. That's all they said. Stephen Avery says, do we blame Sarah Bond? Not really. I don't blame a single person. Sarah Bond came in late and the Xbox ship was already selling. She just got on board and now she's been promoted up to driving. So now the ship has to sail her way. So we probably won't see the Sarah Bond effect for like another 4 or 5 years after from her position. So like we're 2 years in. So we'll see. Xbox should hire the Dallas Cowboys marketing because the boys make more money around the world than any other franchise without a Super Bowl win since the 1990s. Oh, that's true. That's true. Jesse James says, does Microsoft give up on Game Pass if Black Ops 6 can't grow the service? Absolutely not, man. They're making billions.
I doubt it.
On Game Pass. I mean, there's just no way.
Anything that's any comments that say it will Call of Duty die, no. That's making way too much money, no matter how you look at it.
Plus, Jesse James, they already tested this. They released Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I think it was on Game Pass. And I mean, they ended up getting more new players than ever before that have never played Call of Duty. So I don't think it's going to be negative.
Any Call of Duty will blossom that thing.
But you know what, guys? Dreadpool isn't here, but it's okay. Dreadpool sent us a message. Let's check it. Dreadpool, what do you think Xbox should do to attract more developers? Make sure everything is on.
Hey, this is Dreadpool. I'm live on location. And the question is, what does Microsoft and Xbox need to do to bring developers back to their system?
Well, I think we should throw a party and tell them, or else.
There you go. Develop on Xbox. Here's a pizza party. I don't want a pizza party, or else. Oh, man. That's funny. Shout out to Dreadpool. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. All right. Let's move the show right along. Give me a second here. Here, guys. All right. Sorry. Yeah, and I agree. Doggy. Not a chance they give up on Game Pass. Yeah, not a chance.
Nah.
Not even a chance. But you know what, guys? It's time. Let's cleanse our palate from this research stuff. I don't feel like being in college anymore. I already graduated. So it's time to kick it off with Terry's Indie Spotlight.
All right, everybody, welcome back to my Indie Spotlight, and I got a good one for you guys, at least if you are into the same kind of games that I'm into. So today I'm going to be featuring a game that I've been playing quite heavily this week. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself, and I want to, show it to you guys. You guys have probably seen it because it's currently advertised on Game Pass.
Oh, nice.
So let's go ahead and check it out.
Roll that beautiful footage.
Rated teen. This is Gold Rock Radio.
Cause we're flying tonight.
Dusty showing up. You know me. Always got time to help a newcomer.
Cause we're flying tonight. We're flying tonight.
Gate is active and you're clear to roll. Good luck out there.
Easy there, mate.
Great job. Maybe you ought to take a break from hauling and give your rig some love.
You seem a little lost, friend. You're making one hell of a detour.
This is an automated checkpoint inspection.
This is a storm update. Park City's experiencing high levels of electrical activity.
Temperature's getting real uncomfortable. Just pick up your pace.
Safe travel.
All right, Star Trucker, dude. This game is so much fun. So
I want to play
I've
that game so bad.
been, dude, I've been playing it. So at first, they showed a very quick clip. Let me see if I can go back to that page. They had a very quick clip that kind of featured what the there. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna reshare my screen one more time, Axel.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Let me go back to that part of the video real quick.
Tell
So
me
if you
when to
just
share.
It's up.
All right.
So if you guys, this is when you first boot up the game. It's kind of like your difficulty settings. I made the mistake. I went recommended and I got booty clapped.
You don't have a trucker inside.
Oh,
Dude.
so much for playing Expeditions.
No, because this is nothing like that. So this, once you hit recommended and above, it becomes more of a survival game. And let me tell you, I wasn't ready. It was too real life trucker for me. You know, you're trying to make a buck, and every time you deliver some freight and you make some money, guess what? Zero profit for you, because you got to pay for your gas, you got to pay for your batteries, you got to pay for air filters, you got to repair your hull. It's just constant money funneling out for constant repairs. I literally got to the point to where my truck became inoperable. I was so broke I couldn't afford to buy batteries, and my truck wouldn't turn on, and I was just floating in space, lost forever. I was like, that's enough for that. So I restarted the game and I put it on driver, and I've been loving that because that makes it more of a driving sim. So there's still the ability. So on driver you still have maintenance. I still have to repair my hull and buy parts, but it's not as extreme as the rate of decay on your parts isn't as extreme. So I'm able to last a lot longer and do a lot more stuff. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it that way. And of course it has the custom, where if you want to tweak it even further, you can still do that. So I love how they made it to where you can really customize your personal play style. I love the whole driver simulation more than the survival element of it. So that's great that I can gear the game to me, and then people who want to go the other route can go the other route. And I couldn't do it on the recommended setting.
Mm-hmm.
They have 2 settings above that. So if you are a masochist at survival and you are really good at budgeting your money, you go at it, because they'll definitely give you the challenges on there. But no, overall the game is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. They did a good job with the voice acting. I feel like they went, they kind of found that when you think of like a truck driver, they kind of got the very stereotypical kind of sound of what truck drivers sound like, and I think they kind of nailed that.
On their CB radios, like,
yeah. And you get to use, you use the CB radio as well, which is cool. And then and I don't know. Overall, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. The AI drivers, just like drivers in real life, they suck. And I've had it to where I was delivering some freight, and right as I'm pulling into the dock, another trucker he literally pulled up, he stopped, he honked at me, and then he plowed right through me and destroyed my freight. Let's just say there was a lot of cussing that happened, and because it happened right in front of my delivery. And
That
so
guy went full ludicrous mode on you. Move,
did.
Terry,
He-
get out the way.
Road rage happened in space, and I went from anticipating making 2K for my delivery to I ended up owing the company $8,000 in damages. So you get that real life trucker sim right there. But no, the game is great. I highly recommend it if you like driving sims. This is the game for you. It's so fun. It's on Game Pass, so you can enjoy it if you have Game Pass. Otherwise, you can buy it. It's $25 if you want to just buy it outright. If you have Game Pass and you're enjoying it, you get the that small discount as well. It's also available on Steam. So this game is only on Xbox and Steam.
Woo!
I have a question for Terry.
You can leave your truck. You put your little spacesuit on. So if, let's say, some debris in space hits your truck and you get a hull breach, you put your spacesuit on and you go out there and you weld it up, and then stuff like that. You can also scavenge for salvage. So as you're driving around, if you find some salvage in the area, you put your spacesuit on and you go out there and you throw stuff in a box and you carry it back in your truck, and you can either get parts for your truck, and you don't have to worry about investing money for more parts, or you can just sell the stuff for profit. So there's ways to make money that way and keep your survival going. And one of the coolest aspects is this game is made by a 2-person team, and they did such a great job. I play a lot of simulators, and there's some good ones and there's a lot of bad ones. And for this to be one of the good ones and only had a 2-person team is so impressive, because let me tell you, there's some big team simulators out there that are just boring and terrible, So well done to them. I think they nailed it. This game is fun, and I highly recommend you guys try it out. It's a little, and Axel, I think you'll like it because
it's in space.
It's in space, and it has the joystick control, so you have to without there being gravity and stuff. So you have to deal with having all your axes and everything right. So when you're trying to lock into your docks and stuff like that, so it's kind of a little a little taste of flight sim, a little bit, just a tiny little bit, but it's fun. Go play it, guys.
I have a question for Terry.
Here we go. Let me pull this up. Hold on. All right, take it away, should I? Yeah.
You are an expert of car sims and the trucking and all that. How can you fail on a space truck?
Dude, because the other sims don't have maintenance.
But you just said that the guy comes out and start welding. That's maintenance.
Yeah, on this game. The other games you don't do that. The other games you just drive. In like SnowRunner, for example, you only got to have fuel management, and you can carry parts or whatever that you can to repair your if you have like a flat tire or you bust your engine, you can repair it or whatever. You don't. It just push one button and it's instantly done. And it doesn't really take any effort or any kind of time. It's literally you can just carry trailers that do that. And it's not a thing you have to really strategize. It's just an easy thing. Like, it's like when you're running around playing a game and you have a surplus of health potions. You're not really thinking about strategy. You're just popping potions because you have so many of them. It's the same concept. Those ones don't have survival really in them. It's easy to repair. Whereas Star Trucker, dude, you get stranded. Dude, and then they even have insurance. My battery died, and I had to get towed back, and they charged me $750.
How can you tow
because
a
the service wasn't included in my warranty.
Hey,
I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's so funny, man.
How can you
might have to
tow
try
a
this game
truck
just to
in
check it
space?
out.
Isn't that billions of years before they truck your truck?
And so yeah, you can take out a loan from the bank too, so that way you can buy parts and stuff, and then you're in debt. Like a buddy of mine, he's playing it, and he's like $8,000 in debt, and I'm like, my gosh, dude.
I wish I was only $8,000 in debt right now. I'm just saying.
So is that like
and they give you an idea. So like, your truck runs on like 4 air filters. Each air filter is $3,000 each.
God, jeez.
So And some of your deliveries, you might only make maybe $400 on a delivery. So you got to do a lot of deliveries to afford one air filter, let alone 4. So that's where salvaging comes in too.
So,
And the salvaging isn't like, it's not like constant. You just go someplace and you find salvage everywhere. No, it's just kind of a random thing that pops up.
Okay, so if you get out of your truck, is it like Starfield that you see the hand going like this trying to weld?
You see like you don't really see a hand or anything. You see the plates that you're putting on, and you kind of see little like sparks or whatever. So they didn't really do like that. But the game is also in first person perspective. You can change your cameras and stuff for the truck,
I see.
but like your person's in first person.
That would have been interesting that the guy will actually, and you have to do it like your own self welding.
Yeah, and you can control the temperature inside the truck. So depending on which region of space you're in, if you're in a place of space that's really cold or really hot, you have to adjust the temperature inside the cab so you don't freeze to death or burn up.
No, that's
you can set your cruise control. Just like a real truck. They got the all your light switches work, which is cool. It's really, you have the emergency brakes, which works, and it's really well done. And one of the things that I also like is when I'm trying to think how you do it. So I kind of lost my train of thought, but like, everything kind of works. So it's just a fun experience. I highly recommend it. Oh, the hyper jumps are fun. So you have to pull up to like this portal. So think of like Stargate. You have a Stargate, and this is kind of like your express highways,
or something like that. Hyper portal.
So you pull up to the gate, and then the lights go off to to make sure that you're fully stopped and that you're in the right placement. And then once all the lights turn green, you get to look up and you pull a giant lever. So that way you actually can initiate the gate. So that's always fun.
So in other words, we're gonna be playing Star Wars Truck Simulator.
It's kind of like flight sim in space, but it's more simplified than flight sim though.
No, but it seems to me it's a full experience because you gotta press the buttons and all that.
It's fun. So, but like I said, there's difficulties with it to where how you want to play. So, like for me, I didn't like the fact that I had to replace a battery in my truck every 5 minutes, and then each battery was like $2,000 a piece, and it seemed like I had to do constant deliveries just to buy batteries. And it just wasn't happening for me. So I wasn't enjoying that. So I went down to driver, and now I'm having a lot of fun playing it. So at least I like that you can at least gear the game towards your personal preference.
Right.
Got it.
All right. There you go, guys. Star Trucker. Be sure to pick it up. Wow. That's the longest indie spotlight we've ever talked about. Terry really likes trucking. So let's check in with the chat. Fastbacks asks, what about rest stop, ladies? And me and Deadpool corrected him. Is like, we call them lot lizards.
That's true.
Are there lot lizards in the sim?
No, because there's like you don't go into like parking lots or anything where you're interacting with people.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
there you go. All right, let's move the show right along. So guys, I don't know if you know, but the Halo Championship Series is on right now, and they're doing a lot of stuff going on here. So let's check out one of the major announcements they did at the Halo Championship Series. They're doing third-person mode in Halo. So that's happening. So, of course, this is on Halo Infinite multiplayer. It's not coming to every Halo. These people move way better than I do.
No, that's AI.
No, I watched the Halo Championship Series. These guys really do play like this.
No,
it's crazy how good they are at movement. So there you go, guys. Third-person mode in Halo, coming in November. It got announced for November, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think so. November.
So yeah, not live yet, but in November. Barry, are you gonna load up Halo Infinite in third-person mode?
No.
No.
Nope. I have
you
zero
first person
interest in
only?
playing. Zero interest. Doesn't matter what perspective they put it in.
But it includes space trucking.
No.
Let me put it on a cool screen here. Let me see.
I feel like this is their attempt to try to get more of the Destiny fans to play Halo.
More of the Fortnite kids.
Fortnite kids too.
So there you go. Halo third person coming in. So, of course, one of the big complaints with first person perspective games is that they offer skins, but you never get to see your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And even here, I don't know if you noticed, you see a lot of this. Almost every screen has this, your shield.
Oh.
Your shield glowing. So even then, you're still not going to see a lot of your skin until you die, of course. So, see, right here, glowing, lots of glowing. So they still got a ways to go, but third person mode is coming. And Shaddai, your thoughts on it?
It's funny because I've been playing Halo. I played Halo yesterday and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Playing that one-shot mode. Am I looking forward to this? Of course I am. Because there are times that I kill somebody and I know I hit him, and all of a sudden I am dead. I don't know how I get killed, but if I go to third person, there's a possibility that I will know if it's cheating or not. But of course I'm gonna try this. Even though supposedly people say that Halo is dead, but it seems to me that it's not because they're still working on it. But of course I'm gonna be playing this mode. But I hope it's not like they like to do, to keep it as a singular mode, like third person, instead of putting it for all modes. So I hope it's for every mode, not only one, like for some special event. I don't want that. I want it for everything. So let's see how it goes.
I hope this isn't like a limited time event too.
Right.
Just put the features on there forever.
Yep. That's what I'm looking for. It better be for everything.
So, as an OG Halo guy, I feel that this is like a serious
Blasphemy.
betrayal. Yeah, I feel like this is a serious betrayal. Halo is a first-person shooter, not a third-person floss dance.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I remember, it shouldn't be too much that you could switch, by using a button from first person to third.
I know I don't really have a dog in this fight since I'm not a fan of Halo, but I feel like for the PvP competitive, it shouldn't matter. Who cares? I can understand staying first person for the campaign because that's, so they can stay close to their roots. But for PvP, who cares? It's PvP.
But also on the campaign, remember when you use that big gun, it actually changed to third person automatically. The huge Gatling gun. So
that's when you were mounted, or when you were, when you're driving, it's in third person.
Yeah.
When you are, back in the old Halos, assassinations were done in third person, stuff like that. So it's not like it's a totally new perspective, but it was a switching perspective. But this is what we can expect Halo to look like here in the future. I mean,
oh God,
they're basically trying to get this on Halo because they call Halo, they call Master Chief the guy from Fortnite.
Well, that's the same thing with Kratos.
And, shout out to whose gameplay is this? I totally forgot whose this is. I don't know. Let me look at the channel real quick. This is Ryan Dude 5678. So be sure to check out his channel. This is his gameplay. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is to see some shooting. Let's see if he does some shooting here. So yeah, this is what they're going to turn Halo into. Like, just being honest here, this is what it's going to turn into.
I doubt it. It's a different feeling. Honestly, they're two different things, two different feelings. So you shouldn't be feeling like you're playing Fortnite.
Yeah, because like this is super empty and nothing's happening.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Halo is constant action. You're constantly being shot at. Fortnite, you spend a lot of time looking for the action.
I'd rather say Fortnite copy from Halo because, like I said, it changes to third person when you're carrying a Gatling gun or you're in a Warhawk. That was like the first one for that one. I mean, for Halo.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, I'm not seeing this guy shoot at anybody.
Of course. It's
That's Fortnite. That's why I don't play that game. I felt like majority of the time you're looking for the fight, and then by the time you find it, either you get it or you dead, and it's game over. So it's like you didn't really have much gameplay in this game.
So yeah, you can expect though Halo. I mean, this will eventually turn into that, and it's because they're gonna add emotes and all that good stuff to it. Oh, there we go. They're gonna add emotes and everything to it. I mean, it already has some, but not very serious ones, or they're actually communication ones. And yeah, maybe this is a good way to bring back assassinations. A lot of people have been asking for assassinations, and a lot of people have been asking for third-person mode. And I think this will only help them monetize the game better, as now you'll be able to see your own skin instead of everybody else's. So that's going to feel really cool. They need to fix the transparency on the shielding, I think. Because again, as you can see here, when I was watching this, all I kept thinking about was all I'm seeing is the shield. Every time they're in combat, a shield, 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 right? And so if they fix the shielding, I think they'll do better. So yeah, that's the way I feel about it. And this can only get you more gamers. But do I think this is a betrayal of the way it's supposed to be? Absolutely.
So that means we're gonna end up watching everybody's cat ears. Got it.
Oh man, I love the way my Spartan looks. I really do, and I kind of do wish I could see him. But yeah, I think Shaddai is right. Maybe they're gonna do what PUBG did, because PUBG started as first person as well and moved over to third person, and then they separated the playlist, like first person perspective playlist and third person perspective playlist. So yeah, maybe on Halo though, I feel like they should just combine the playlist and play the way you want.
Yeah,
make it available everywhere. Some people are like, "Oh, is this going to be available on campaign?" I sure hope not, but
That would be
I don't see 343 doing
Nah.
anything with the Halo Infinite campaign anymore.
You can't have the first persons play with the third, because the first persons don't have the peripheral view that the third person has. It would be very unfair.
Yeah, that's
super duper unfair. Yeah, you can't see people sneaking up on you. Yeah. So yeah, that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, don't mess with the campaign. Just leave it as it is. That's how it was made. No.
Yeah. Let's check in with the chat, see how they feel. Oh my gosh, it's not loading the chat on my stream anymore. I apologize for that, guys. So I'm just gonna read it. Let's see. Jesse James says they said there's another big Halo Infinite announcement after the tournament. Ooh, I hope there is. Fastback says nothing wrong with Halo third person. That could lead to another Halo game like action RPG. I hope.
Yeah,
I hope they stick to the genres they have right now.
Imagine if they did, though. Imagine if they made a third-person Halo, kind of similar to Gears. I mean, that could be cool.
I think well, I don't know. They already did the RTS. They already did the top down. With
twin stick shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, the twin stick shooters. I don't know. I think it's gonna flop if it's gonna be some type of RPG.
I think they're doing what they need to do to make sure that Halo continues to grow into the next generation.
Yeah, I think
I support them doing an action RPG, and I support them doing like a just like an action game.
Actually,
just an action shooter. That's like Gears.
Actually, they can't. The closest one that they can make it will be like Remnant. Like Remnant 2, like that.
Yeah.
It could be the closest one. It could be done like that. That the difficulty is really high up there.
Maybe the next ODST will be in third person. Who knows? We'll see. I'm excited to see where the franchise goes. I'm excited to see that they continue to add features to Halo Infinite. Like Halo Infinite has continued to evolve into this fantastic thing. Like everybody bashed it for this, bashed it for that, and they continue to add more and more and more to it. So I'm really glad that 343 is still working on Halo Infinite and that they're giving gamers what they want. So we'll see how that works out in the end. But until we see it, until I play it and get it in my hands, I won't be able to tell you. Because third-person perspective is very different from first-person perspective if you don't get the angles right.
Yep, correct.
And you got to put new targeting modes on every one of these guns. Because I don't know if you saw here, Shaddai, when he was looking down, you could still zoom in. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like It's like that's fine, but I don't want it to be like you said, just this event only for third person when it could have been changed back and forth simultaneously for all modes.
Yeah,
I
I
just want
agree.
that.
I agree with what you're stating, Shaddai. So we'll see where it goes, guys. But that's how we feel. You know what? Dreadpool's in the chat. Let's find out how Dreadpool feels about this.
Hey, I'm Dreadpool, and we need to find out if we should put Halo in third person. My answer is only if we can put back the body. Otherwise, don't.
There you go. Shout out to Dreadpool. Thank you so much for that, Dread. Appreciate you. All right. Let's move on to the prime time today. So, Terry, Ubisoft may be circling the drain. A Chinese mega publisher is reportedly considered trying to purchase the Assassin's Creed makers. Ubisoft's founding family and Chinese power and Chinese tech powerhouse Tencent may be teaming up to acquire Ubisoft. So, I'm just going to read the what you know, and we'll take it from there. Ubisoft is the game publisher. Ubisoft prices plummeted. Share prices plummeted thanks to some stuff that happened. Per a new report, Chinese powerhouse Tencent is considering teaming up with the Guillemot family to acquire Ubisoft. The acquisition might include plans to take the company private and comes after Tencent acquired a stake in Guillemot's family holdings in 2023. So, instead of JRPGs or Western RPGs, we're going to get Chinese RPGs. So, so Terry, of course, this is all rumor, you know, take it with a grain of salt, so forth and so on, right? So, the reports, though, are that Ubisoft might be getting acquired by Tencent, who is the biggest third-party holder of video games right now, the largest. And also, don't forget that Ubisoft has the exclusive cloud gaming rights to Xbox Activision titles. So, Terry, Ubisoft's your baby. You love your Ubisoft games. Have you played any Tencent games lately?
Well, seeing as how
games.
Tencent technically owns Epic and Riot.
Right.
So
They own Riot Games.
So technically, Gears of War is Tencent. So
no. Gears of War is Epic, and they were bought out before Tencent got in there. Don't give me that crap.
The newest one. The newest one. Come on.
You think Microsoft bought the rights to Gears of War recently? No, they bought it way back in the 360 days.
Tencent still holds a big ownership of Epic Games. So
and you know, the IP is owned by Xbox 100%. So I don't know.
Yeah, which is good. Which is good, but still. But
back to reality, Terry.
All right, so this wouldn't be anything new because Tencent already has a 9.9% ownership of Ubi already. For shares, and then they also own, I think, like 30% of the Guillermo family stockholding as well.
Dang.
But they only have like a 5%. They only have a 5% vote, so they don't really have any voting rights at all when it comes to decisions. They're just the money, and they own. So overall, they only own like less than 10% of Ubisoft because the owning of the Guillermo family stockholding thing is a separate thing. But yeah.
How much does the Guillemot family still own of Ubisoft though? Because
yeah, so they only own.
That's a different story, you know.
So the Guillermo family owns. They own less than 50%, so they don't have like full ownership. I think they only own like, I don't know, like 30% or 29.9, because you know how they don't like doing full percents. So like I think they own less than 30% total, and then majority of their 30% Tencent kind of owns. So it's weird and confusing. Like I don't fully get it either, but that's stocks and I don't get that business side. But there was an agreement made because Tencent got their hands on the cookie jar for Ubisoft back in 2 years ago. and when they got their 9.9%. So, and there was a agreement made that they are not allowed to own more than 20% of Ubisoft, unless they buy it outright. And so they would have to go through all the stuff to completely 100% own it. And nobody 100% owns it. They would have to get all the stockholders to sell. They have to have 100% ownership. So I don't think that's going to be possible for them to get 100%. So they can't. So without being able to get 100%, they can't. They're not allowed to go above 20. This is literally a bunch of journalists who don't know anything about business, literally just spewing stuff because they're in talks. Like, they're always in talks. I mean, Microsoft is probably in talks of buying companies all the time that we don't know about. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing until something actually becomes, real.
So the Guillemot family owns 14%. Tencent owns roughly 10%, 9.9%. So between the two, let's just say that's 25. That's 25%. And then Yves Guillemot owns 0.5%. So 25.5%, a quarter of the way there.
No, because
and then the rest of the votes are there. But I want to point out that this unknown is smaller shareholders. These are like the people that own like 100 shares or something less, right?
Yes.
So Ubisoft is largely owned by smaller groups.
So Tencent can't buy Ubisoft unless they get full ownership, because that was part of the terms of the agreement when they bought their 9.9. That they can't
Ubisoft's
they can't go above. They can't. So it's like they can't go above 20% for Ubisoft, and then the portion that they own from the Guillermo family doesn't count. That's like it's separate or whatever, because they own like 20 or 30% of that. So it's weird. But so they technically only own the less than 10, and they can't go above 20. So like this, to me, this is nothing, because the smaller shareholders own the majority. And no, they're not, they would have to do some serious wheeling and dealing to buy out the whole thing. And the biggest issue, though, with Tencent, with already having, their hand in the cookie jar, is even though they don't have any voting rights, they only have 5% of the vote. They have the money. So they can easily manipulate people with money. Like, hey, I'll invest this much money here if you do this or that. So they can kind of manhandle it that way as a main financer. So, which is probably why we've been seeing a lot of the things that have been going bad with Ubi. I 100% blame on the Guillermo family and Tencent, because they're the ones kind of. Other people have even said that they're basically holding the stockholders hostage, because they're the ones that have the money, and so they basically kind of just push everyone around. So the company itself can't do what it wants to do, because their focus is on the gamer, but Tencent and the Guillermo family, their focus is on numbers. They're 100% business. They only care about numbers. Like, what can we do that's quick to give us a big turn of investment? We don't want long term. We're only interested in the short term. How do we get profits now? And so they keep making all these stupid decisions, like their the NFTs and all that kind of stupid crap, because they're looking for short term results to get high profits, and it's hurting the company. Them making the decision to start focusing more on free to plays and stuff like that. Like, that's them trying to get a lot of money up front from people buying microtransactions. Those are decisions that Tencent and the Guillermo family have done, and it's hurting Ubisoft. So it's one of those things where people want to crap on Ubisoft, but Ubisoft is basically being held hostage by Tencent and the Guillermo family, and they're the ones that are making these bad decisions. So
yeah, I feel like they stopped caring about gamers and only started caring about their wallets.
Ubisoft.
You guys know, Ubisoft's market value right now is $1.47 billion.
And within the last week,
it went lower.
Within the last week, though, their stocks have increased 30%.
30%, yeah. So they went up to what, 2 point something?
Yeah, so they went back up just because of journalists spreading these rumors about Tencent.
That would put them at 2.2. Yeah, 2.2
So,
billion. Yeah.
so that's helped with their stocks going back up, which that's literally could just be a ploy. Tencent literally could have just said, "Hey, we're going to pretend like this is happening, so news talks about it, and that'll help our stocks go up." This could have just been a ploy.
Yeah.
But, because Tencent has a lot of money to throw around, and they like to throw their money around.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like actually getting their hands dirty when it comes to designing games or anything like that. They just like throwing their money around. So, which is why we're getting NFTs and free to plays that are failing.
Yeah, don't forget NFT games. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Tencent is bad for Ubi. Tencent is bad for Ubi. So that's all I can say.
All right. So let's check in with the chat real quick. Let's see. Nope, nobody's saying anything right now. Oh, shout out to Graphic God. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. So Tencent, Ubisoft might be bought by Tencent. Shaddai, tell us how you feel about this. What do you think? Do you think Tencent should buy them? Do you think they're going to be bought? Tell us your thoughts.
Well, if they own some stocks with Ubisoft, I wouldn't be surprised for them to actually, get them. They have some say so in there. But like Terry said, and what we saw there, they have to go all around board to see if they could give them the 100%, which I probably doubt it. They just want their money. I don't like how they're being hostage and it's like a quick buck and that's it, and how they treating us. That's the part that I don't like. I'm not too much I'm not too much into this, but it's more like, well, Microsoft bought ABK, why not Tencent do their competitor do the same thing, since Ubisoft is cheaper. So I wouldn't be surprised for them to.
And we saw it with Activision too, because that's the other thing is Tencent also has their hands in the Activision cookie jar. So you remember how Activision for a time was also getting a lot of grief for microtransactions and the stuff that they were doing. That was Tencent. So
I don't know about now, since now it's on the Microsoft button.
And it's sad because Tencent is the one doing the stuff that the gamers hate, but the gamers aren't blaming Tencent. They're blaming Activision, or they're blaming Riot, or they're blaming Epic, and now they're blaming Ubi. Because those guys are the face, so they're the ones taking all the negativity. But it's Tencent is the problem.
But Terry, Terry, the thing is that the way we see it is because they are the one who's taking the action.
Because they're the face. They're the face, but they're not the ones. The other ones are making the decisions, and they just have to kind of fall in line.
The way I don't know, I don't see, like Tencent being this thing or being mentioned a whole lot, since
one of the biggest things so when you do business with Tencent, the big pro of doing business with Tencent is all the money. They got a lot of money and they like to throw it around, and they they give the companies that they work with, they give them money. Like, you're not going to have an issue funding stuff. They're going to give you the money. So that's what tempts a lot of people to do business with Tencent. But one of the big negatives with Tencent is they're very politically charged. Because they're based in China, and China is got a lot of political things there that are not good. So that's the big negative to that. So they end up mistreating things because they want to run things the way China runs their country, and that doesn't fly with people outside of China. So there's a lot of
bumping heads.
Yeah, we got the political aspect we don't agree with, but hey, that money looks mighty good.
well, actually, I have to agree with you on that, because didn't Bobby Kotick had a problem over there in China about I think it was
that wasn't with Tencent though. That was with NetEase.
But NetEase is in China, so I know NetEase have to be with Tencent. Am I correct?
No.
Not necessarily, but
okay.
Tencent does kind of. Tencent has a lot of pull in China, but most companies in China are dictated by the Chinese government, though, too.
Because that's the way I'm thinking. Since Tencent is there, NetEase is there too. I thought that it might.
Tencent might not be directly affiliated with NetEase, but the Chinese government would be definitely looking over the shoulders of everybody and telling them what to do.
By the way, guys, just real quick. So these are the wholly owned by Tencent. Funcom, Leiyu, which is Athlon Game, Digital Extreme, Splash Damage, Riot Games, Shark Mob, and Sumo Group, who is famous for doing Crackdown 3, right?
And we all know how well that
went. Visual Arts, Key, Kinetic Novel, Turtle Rock Studios, Wake Up Interactive, or Valhalla Game Studios, right? Inflection Games, Furicum Publishing, Techland, Tequila Works, Clay Entertainment, Yiga Development, Fat Shark Miniclip, Grinding Gear Games, Supercell. This is a huge mobile.
Yep.
They own the that is the what is that stupid game where you have to conquer cities?
Clash of Clans or something?
Clash of Clans, yeah. Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. Those are them. Don't Nod. You know who they are, right?
I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, they did the Life is Strange.
Life is Strange, yeah. Epic Games. Obviously, they own 35% of Epic Games. Shift Up, who did Stellar Blade, they own 35% of them. Bloober Team, who just released Silent Hill 2, remake, 22% on that one. Marvelous, CLTD, Netmarkable, From Software Entertainment, my favorite developer right now. They own 16% of them. Remedy Entertainment, yep. Craft and Cacao, Paradox Interactive, who I also like, 10% of them. Frontier Development, Ubisoft, and Kadokawa Corporation. So Tencent has their fingers in a lot of games, and eventually they end up buying them to move over to majority or wholly owned. That's the way Tencent operates.
Yeah, which is probably why when they did business with Ubisoft 2 years ago, Ubi made sure that they were not allowed to go above 20% because they didn't want that to happen to them.
Yeah. Yeah, my beautiful wife, thank you so much for being in the chat. You are the MVP of my life. She says, it's a monopoly. Tencent is great.
I have to agree.
Some of those developers on there put out great games. Just throwing it out there. Some of them put out great games. Maybe Ubisoft needs more Tencent in their life.
No, they don't.
Because,
so
when I look at
Riot Games... We need less of the Guillermo family. That'll help for sure. The Guillermo family is not doing them any favors.
So Riot Games has put out League of Legends. They did Valorant, which is doing great. And they also put out that Netflix show. I forget what it's called. All those three things are great. I mean, maybe Ubisoft needs a little more, needs a little guidance from their Tencent overlords.
So that means 10 cent is not enough money for them?
Oh, no, we're going with 50 cent at least.
Okay, 50
cent.
Oh. Inflation.
They can't get the copyright on that.
Didn't Techland put out a new game recently? I forget what they put out.
Dying Light.
Is it Dying Light?
Dying Light 2.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Dying Light 2, Dying Light, and Dying Light 2, The Beast, yeah.
Yep.
They did that, yeah. I'm just trying to find these. I know I've heard of Clay Entertainment.
If I'm not mistaken, they created with Epic that two.
Don't Starve. That's who they did. An Oxygen Not Included. Yes, those are two great games, survival games. So they're survivor developers.
Which one are you talking about?
Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included.
Because I know Clay did. Oh no, that's Chair. Sorry, Chair Entertainment.
Yeah. Obviously, we said a lot of these. Supercell, Don't Nod, Epic Games, Shift Up. Again, they did Stellar Blade. So yeah, I mean, maybe Terry, they need to get some of that success, some of that Tencent love.
No, they don't.
They need some guidance from the Chinese.
They don't give them guidance.
Owners.
No.
Who understands how to control people better than Tencent?
Well, that would be a true statement, but that's not what we want.
Who knows how to mold young minds better than Tencent?
If Tencent buy them, that means their name changed to Ubisoft.
I want the creators to be able to create and to have the freedom to create and to, go. I want them to be able to go back to focusing on the gamer, which is what Ubisoft wants to do. But again, it's the Guillermo family and Tencent that aren't letting him do that, and they need to go. Get rid of them, and so Ubisoft can shine again. Get rid of them.
What is this term Tencent has never heard of?
Get rid of them. They're the reason why all the negative stuff that's happening with Ubi. I blame 100% on the Guillermo family and Tencent. Get them out of there.
Get them out of there.
Get them out of there.
You know
Get
what?
out of here.
Assassin's Creed would have launched on time if Tencent was in charge. Just saying.
That would have been horrible too. It would have been a rushed piece of crap.
But they would have made a lot of money, Terry. It's all
It would
about
have
the
been
money.
a rushed piece of crap. 100% AI.
100% AI. Yeah. So, look, man. Tencent owns more publishing of the video game market than anyone else. Them and who's the other group? They bought Crystal Dynamics.
Embracer.
Them and Embracer are the two big dogs in video game publishing. So that's the way, those are the ones that are having. So if this happens, I expect regulators to be all over it. Especially, as Terry said, regulators have issues with Chinese tech powerhouses owning Western powerhouses, taking over.
Well,
so
Microsoft doing the same
it's
thing.
just that regulators will have issues. I don't know if Tencent is ready to put up the fight to get Ubisoft, because there's going to be.
They have to deal with all of the whole European BS
the EU,
that Microsoft went through.
UK one, whatever it's called, the CMA.
Yeah.
And Lina Khan is going to have an issue with this, with the FTC here. So, I don't know if Tencent is ready to do this.
Can they split?
So I don't think they will.
My question is, can they split? Ubisoft, can they be split or no?
Dreadpool says, was Skull and Bones rushed? It still took 8 years and it was a piece of crap, Terry.
It wasn't a piece of crap, and it took 8 years because it was mostly done in Singapore, and Singapore is having a lot of issues with their country.
So they did it.
That's like blaming
that's like
blaming that stalker because Ukraine has issues. It's stupid.
So
their country was having a lot of problems. It probably still is having a lot of problems.
Yeah, but this is my question: can they buy half of Ubisoft? Because I know they did that with. I know Embracer when they got
They can't do half. Like I said,
Really?
They already had it in the terms of when they got their 9.9 that they are not allowed to own more than 20%. They can't do. They have to either get to 20.
They have to go. So they have no choice but to go through the Guillemot family.
Yeah, they have to either get 20 and be happy, or they would have to buy it 100%. And to go 100% is more difficult because you got to get every shareholder to agree to sell.
I was thinking like Square Enix with that Eidos, Monterio, and all that they kind of, but they sold here, there, not the whole thing, but it's like here, there. That's the reason why I ask.
Yeah, and like they couldn't even buy the Guillermo family out because that would put them over the 20.
So there you go, guys. Tencent. All right. So I asked the question. I want to know where, before I end the poll, Terry, I want you to know where would you be? Should Tencent buy Ubisoft? First option is yes. Ubisoft cross Tencent sounds so sweet. Second choice is no. Keep Ubisoft independent. And number 3 is someone else should buy them. Which one are you for, Terry?
Keep them independent. I want them to go back to being focused on making great games and focus on the gamer. I don't like the atmosphere they have, and it's these big stockholding companies that are making these bad decisions, and so they need to go away. Get rid of them.
Get rid of them. All right. Okay. Shadai, what about you? How would you vote on the Tencent?
I actually put somebody else buy them because if they go independent, they're gonna start ending it up like Square Enix.
So you think you need to save? They need saving.
Yeah, because they might be a big company with a lot of people, whatever, but in the long run, they're gonna start acting like Square Enix.
Oh, they're gonna be another Squeenix.
Yeah, another Squeenix.
All right. All right. I'm going to end the poll there. So while it ending, I'll tell you where I'm at. And I think, no, they should stay independent. That's where I would vote. Because, as I've said, don't sleep on these Ubisoft games, guys. They're actually pretty dang good.
They have some fantastic
Yeah,
games.
Is every game every developer puts in going to be a banger? Of course
No.
not. You're being silly.
Yeah.
But are the majority of Ubisoft games bangers? Absolutely. Absolutely. The reason people are disappointed with Ubisoft is because they know that Ubisoft can do better.
Yeah.
I know they can.
Right? So people are upset with Star Wars Outlaws or whatever because they know that Ubisoft could have put out a better game. Right? Or people are upset with whatever game. Let's insert name game here, right? And it's because Ubisoft has had a record of doing bangers. So they know that Ubisoft can do it. They just have to get back to it.
You gotta remember, Outlaws is made by Massive.
Massive Entertainment.
Ubi published. They didn't develop it. So like Massive made it, and they did a good job. And I think, you know, and I don't know all what happened, but I would assume, you know, Tencent and the Guillermo family probably rushed them to get it out. So that might be part of why it had some flaws. But I mean, for the game overall is a really good game, and I played far worse games that got way higher praise. So that's just the biasness of gamers, you know. Certain companies can do no wrong. Literally, Capcom made people pay for an ending for a game, you know, but they'll always be seen. You know, but Capcom can do no wrong, you know.
I don't know about that. You know, I've been critical of Capcom.
You may have been critical, but when you look at fans of Capcom can do no wrong. They'll get a little mad at them for a little bit, but then they're always forgiven, and they keep shelling out the money. You know what I mean? They're not critical enough.
Love.
They're not critical enough of Capcom.
I know, man. I know. Anyways, but I think Ubisoft games are way better than other publishers.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to take away that flavor, you know. But now, do I think if they were bought by Tencent, if it would be terrible? Not really, because when I looked at all the publishers Tencent has, they've been successful since Tencent acquired them. So I'm kind of in a mix right now, because I want Ubisoft to stay independent. But if Tencent bought them, hey, you know what? They're not Embracer Group. That's all I gotta say, right? If I had to choose, you know, which devil would I choose? I choose Tencent, if you will, right? Which publisher would I choose? My beautiful wife says, let Tencent buy Ubisoft. Ubisoft games will be famous in Asia. There you go. There you go. You know, you can attract 1 million more followers with that, or 1 million more gamers immediately. You know, so yeah, you want to break into the areas where you're not. You gotta be favorable to those people. Just saying. You know, but we'll see how it goes. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. Ubisoft is going through a rough spell. They're going to recover. Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to come out, and I'm going to buy it day one and be like, I don't know what everybody was talking about. All these doom and gloomers.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I
mean,
like
look at this. This looks awesome.
Yeah, this looks like any other recent Assassin's Creed game. You know, it's well done. I mean, I would say the only setback would be, you know, for the people who are all about graphics. You know, this isn't that much more of a step up from the previous.
Gameplay is king in my world, Terry. You know how I am.
I agree with that. But you know how people are. They're gonna look at this and be like, this isn't a step up from Valhalla or whatever. You know what I mean? So they're gonna be like, this is last gen material.
Did you want the next Assassin's Creed to take 2-3 years, or did you want it to take 8 years? Because redoing all those graphics takes time.
I don't care how long it takes, as long as the game is fun to play.
But that's my point. You know, you want new graphics every engine, new graphics, every new game.
I don't want
redoing those graphics takes so much time.
I agree.
I'd rather them just use the resources they have, get out some amazing games.
And that's what I agree with. But like you know, when it comes to the gaming journalists, that's not what they push. They push, You know, they don't have all the pixels. They don't have the clarity. They don't have the shadow rendering and all this other BS. It's like,
Don't forget to
come on,
pause
man.
and zoom in 300 times.
Yes, you know.
So my point being though, guys, you know, everything assists the gameplay. The graphics assist the gameplay. So if you wanted to do this gameplay and the graphics were inappropriate for it, I would say the graphics suck.
You know, and,
Right?
and the downside is this game should be compared to the other Assassin's Creed games. The moment now that they have a samurai, the people are going to be like, "Oh, well, it's nothing like Ghost of Tsushima." It's not supposed to be. That's a completely different game.
Yeah, this is Assassin's Creed by Tencent. Okay, so I'm just trolling you, Terry. I'm just trolling you.
You know, so it's just one of those things where it's just because it has a samurai doesn't mean it has to be just like this other game, you know, or or like people will be like, or they're gonna want to compare it to Sekiro or something. It's like, why? Those are completely different games.
Sekiro, no game will ever, no Chinese, no ninja game will ever be better than Sekiro.
Ninja Gaiden.
No.
That's
I
not
love
a
my
samurai game.
Gaiden.
No, Ninja
hasn't
Gaiden
been
is
on top for
definitely
a long
not
time.
a samurai game.
Hey, they both have swords.
They both have swords.
Dude, so does King Arthur. I mean, come on.
You know what the best samurai game is right now? Halo Infinite. There's a samurai skin and there's a sword. So there you go. All right, guys. Enough of that.
Go play For Honor.
Hey, For Honor is great. So there you go, guys. That's it. Terry, did you have any other topics you want to talk about before we get going?
No, I think we covered some decent stuff for today.
Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot? I forgot to get Dreadpool's input on should Tencent buy Ubisoft. Let's go to Dread. Dread, should Tencent buy Ubisoft?
I'm Dreadpool, live on location, asking people if Tencent should buy Ubisoft. What do you think? I guess that's a no.
There you go. Shout out to Dreadpool. Thank you so much, buddy, for sending these clips. You're awesome. All right. All right. So I think that's going to do it for the show, though, today, guys. I don't have anything else to report on. No breaking news has dropped, I don't think. Twitter's not going crazy right now. Yeah, no. All right. So I think that's going to do it for today's show, guys. With that being said, of course, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat. And that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to any of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. And with that being said, we are going to get out of here. I'm Axel1324.
I'm Cool Cat Terry.
And I'm Eternal Shaddai.
And we will catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.